Hi, this is me again. Today I'm gonna give a brief introduction about how to uh, write a writing test 1 in the IELTS writing test. Now, most of you are already familiar with a writing test 1, and you know that it's mostly about describing data, how to describe data in a concise and coherent way for the readers to understand immediately what a chart or a graph is about. Now that is describing data. Now in a task 1 report, you are supposed to first give an introduction in which you're supposed to paraphrase the question statement given to you in the question, obviously. So the question always starts with the chart or the graph shows you something, and then it's easy for you to paraphrase the first part, like the chart or the graph. You can always specify the type of the chart or the graph by saying the line graph, the bar chart, the pie chart, the table, etc. Okay? And then you have the verb shows or give information about. You can have a few verbs that have similar meanings like reveal or describe or illustrate or demonstrate. That's not a big problem. Now the problem lies in the next part, which is the noun phrase. So you have to come up with some nouns that give very detailed information about what you're about to describe, which is the percentage or the number or the proportion of something. So you have to be very good with describing or writing noun phrases. So if you're not good with noun phrases, go back to studying grammar. Noun phrases, different types of noun phrases. There are about 3. So you can have an adjective, a type of phrase before a noun, that's the first one, and then you can have the first noun, a preposition, and the second noun, like the percentage of something. Now, percentage is the first noun, of is the preposition, and the second noun. The third type of noun phrase is a noun with a relative clause, including a full relative clause and a reduced relative clause. So go back to studying noun phrases if you want to paraphrase successfully in the first part of the writing task 1. Okay, next to the overview. Now, what is an overview? An overview in a writing task 1 is supposed to give main information, main features of the writing task. So there are 3 words overall to help you, to guide you write this part, which are main trends, main differences, and main stages. Now when it comes to describing data, mostly you will have to talk about main trends or differences. Main trends involve changes over time. So whenever there is a time factor, you should consider finding a main pattern, an overall pattern for the whole chart, and then describe it in the overview. Now, what about the main differences? Main differences are the highest or the lowest numbers in the chart. So always try to find out what are the highest number or what are the lowest number. Okay, so we are done with the overview. Now the third part is obviously the body. Now the first thing you should try to do is to find a way to divide the body into 2 or 3 paragraphs. So you will have to find a way to write this body with a subject of the sentence that is simple enough. So, for example, a complex subject of the sentence would look like the percentages of tourists to different regions of the world, very long, which is complicated and hard to paraphrase throughout the body. So you should find something that is simpler, easier to paraphrase, like the name of the region itself. For example, Asia received 500,000 visitors this year, or something. So it takes some time for you to get familiar with this type of paraphrasing, but with a lot of practice you will get there. Okay, so another thing when it comes to writing the body is that you will need to describe the data. So whenever you give a figure or a number, you should try to describe it or them. For example, you are trying to talk about this biggest number of a line graph, so you should describe this as the biggest number over this time frame or for this graph only, and what the significance of this number is. Do not just list down numbers and leave them there. Okay, so these are a few tips that I want to give you today in relation to writing task 1. Hope you found it useful. I will have more videos like this in the future, so if you find this useful, please subscribe and or click like to give me more motivation. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to tune in next time. Goodbye.